Objective 1. How have the Guardians selected talent in the past? The Guardians of the Universe have traditionally focused on selecting individuals with incredible willpower, courage, intelligence, and sense of justice. Being able to conquer fear is also an extremely important requirement for the job, being that fear is the main weakness that evil villain Parallax takes advantage of. The selection process involves using power rings to identify candidates. These candidates exemplify the requirements listed above that are necessary for the job. The ring is attracted to a candidate who is in close proximity, and if they display the right criteria, the Guardian is more than likely to choose them and give them a ring. How would you update the selection process? While somewhat efficient, there is much room for improvement in the Guardian selection process. Their candidate identification process needs to be changed, and that starts with their defining criteria. While willpower is crucial, expand the criteria to consider other qualities such as empathy, creativity, and adaptability. The ability to overcome fear is important, but diversifying the criteria could lead to more versatile core. I would also launch requirement campaigns that connect with people and planets everywhere. This could involve establishing recruiting stations on several worlds, interacting with various species, and employing innovative communication techniques. Additionally, while the Guardians that get chosen are usually more than fit for the job physically, I think a series of psychological tests should be conducted as well. Introduce complex training exercises that assess problem-solving skills, moral judgment, cooperation, and willpower in addition to other traits. This guarantees the Lanterns are not just being tactical, but they're able to manage challenging circumstances as well. Movie, we learn that the greatest threat to the Green Lantern Corps is Parallax, a paralystic villain. Once you understand Parallax, how would you design a training plan to prevent the new Green Lanterns from being defeated by Parallax, and what training methods would you use and why? Training methods. The training program to combat Parallax takes an immersive method to strengthen Green Lanterns against the fear-based dangers posed by the villain. The use of innovative simulation technologies will expose recruits to situations specifically crafted to provoke and control fear reactions. Programs for mentorship and This training program to combat Parallax takes an immersive method to strengthen Green Lanterns against the fear-based dangers posed by the villain. The use of innovative simulation technologies will expose recruits to situations specifically crafted to provoke and control fear reactions. Programs for mentorship and psychological counseling will be crucial in providing individualized techniques for fear resilience against times when they will be faced with fear. Collaboration within the team will build a strong support system among the Guardians and allow them to rely on others when facing the isolating tactics displayed by Parallax. Additionally, workshops combining mindfulness and mental conditioning will be included to provide recruits with proactive coping skills.
Throughout the movie, there are several examples of important characters being misjudged based upon characteristics that are unrelated to potential work performance. When given the chance to perform, however, many of these characters play important roles in saving the universe. The Guardians' dislike for Oliver Queen is one example of this. Why did the Guardians dislike Oliver? Dig deeper. What is the root cause of this dislike? One reason why the Guardians disliked Oliver was due to his attitude. He was somewhat disagreeable and pessimistic in the movie. He was seen in many instances arguing with others when a level of team cohesion was critical. When comparing Oliver to the other Green Lanterns, it seems as though his personality clashes with theirs. He does not exhibit the traits that are found in a true Green Lantern, and his values did not align with those of the Guardians. A reason for this may be due to Oliver's background with the Justice League. What would the outcome of the movie have been if Oliver had not been an ally of the Guardians? Oliver Queen, also known as the Green Arrow, was a big asset to his team in their journey to win the war. It is hard to predict the exact outcome of the movie if Oliver had not been an ally of the Guardians. However, he played a major role in winning the war and taking down his once best friend Hal Jordan, who had turned evil. If Oliver had not been there in the end, John Stewart would have probably been killed by Hal Jordan. How could the Guardians make the job of Green Lantern look more attractive? The Guardians could have made the job of Green Lantern more attractive for John by giving him a better sense of what that job would entail. When referring to the job characteristics model, it is clear that an improved job description could have provided John with an understanding of the task's significance for his role. By gaining this perception, John would realize the meaningfulness of his job, which could have made the role of Green Lantern much more attractive. What dimensions of the job characteristics model are highly motivating for the Green Lanterns Corps? When relating the job characteristics model to the Green Lanterns Corps, there are a few dimensions that could be considered highly motivating. The first is task significance. It can be very motivating for Green Lanterns to recognize the level of responsibility they have and how their job impacts others for the greater good. Task identity is also highly motivating for the Green Lantern Corps. When the Green Lanterns understand how their job of protecting a sector contributes to the big picture of maintaining proper order in the universe. I would also consider autonomy to be a highly motivating dimension of the job characteristics model for Green Lanterns. As a Green Lantern, you're expected to protect your sector from evil with the help of a ring. These rings are very powerful, and they can be used in a number of different ways to help a Green Lantern achieve their goal. This autonomy gives them freedom on the job and the ability to utilize its functions however they desire. Opportunities for improvement. Feedback is a dimension of the job characteristics model that the Green Lantern Corps could benefit from through some improvement. When watching the movie, I witnessed a lack of feedback received from the Green Lanterns on their job and performance. By providing each member with feedback on their accomplishments and failures, the Green Lantern Corps could see continuous improvement from each sector. Understanding what went well and what did not is important for employees. This gives them the ability to refine and build on the way they complete their tasks.
Objective 5. As the Green Lantern Corps is rebuilt, would you continue to follow the e-learning module that Stuart used, or would you modify the training program? Be sure to discuss why or why you would not use the training methods that were discussed in class. Please justify your answer. Continue the training, but add more. Strictly speaking, directly from the movie itself, the Guardians are an ancient species who have spent countless years perfecting their training regime, and the new Green Lantern, Stuart himself, seems to be enjoying it. However, although Stuart wasn't able to get it, the new Green Lantern Corps should be using other training methods such as job shadowing other lanterns on missions that include on-the-job training. They should also coach the new lanterns on their responsibilities and how to use their powers. Objective 6. The most famous externship in the Green Lantern Corps is the consistent placement of Green Lanterns in the Justice League. Get creative. What other externships would you pursue for developmental purposes? How would they benefit your employees? You can think outside of the DC universe, but you must propose specific externships on how they would address the needs of the Green Lantern. Expatriation. A Green Lantern placed on the Justice League is great, especially since it is a combination of some of the most powerful beings in the universe. However, a Green Lantern in the Justice League should have more experience with differing cultures all around the universe. Therefore, sending new Green Lanterns as an expatriate of sorts across a multitude of places in the universe would be an amazing idea. Benefits of expatriation. Why would the Green Lantern Corps want their lanterns to have an expatriation experience? Well, it would help the Green Lanterns gain exposure and experience dealing with vastly different cultures all across the universe. This would make them valuable assets dealing with the multitude of different tasks that require differing talents than those accessible to lanterns only familiar with their home cultures. Objective 7. Some comic art suggests that if Sinestro had been forced to exit the Green Lantern Corps earlier, Hal Jordan may not have been affected with the parallax. Knowing this, as you consult for the Guardians, how would you suggest they implement progressive discipline? What would it look like to fire somebody from the Green Lantern Corps? Would it be the same as firing a cashier, a business manager, or professor? What risk would you need to consider? Briefly describe the steps you would recommend. Progressive discipline. The Green Lantern Corps swear to protect the innocent, to try and at least not kill, and to uphold their oaths. A Green Lantern should be held accountable if they break any sort of rule. There should be a quick procedural process in removing bad eggs from the bunch in order to avoid a Sinestro situation. There should be 2 types of infractions. Either fire immediately for major infractions, including needlessly killing, or fire for a series of infractions that show the slipping of selfless, caring personality that they were hired on for. Firing a Green Lantern. Ultimately, one would assume that firing a member of the Green Lantern Corps would have to be an extreme. Lanterns are chosen specifically for their ability to care for people, so in the event that a lantern is fired, they would have to have done something extreme. The Green Lantern who was fired would most likely be imprisoned or banished back to their home world, having their power ring removed. Far different from the most involuntary job situations. The big risk would be if the Lantern were to turn evil or use their knowledge to undermine the cores.